What is democracy? Betrayal of broken promises still leave black communities behind. What is democracy? You have to be 10 times better than anyone else to get a fair shot. Today in Georgia, they won't allow water to be available to you while you wait in line to vote in an election. Constant attacks on black election workers who count your vote. Insurrectionists who storm the Capitol with Confederate flags are called patriots by some. Not in my house. Extremist forces aligned against the meaning and message of Morehouse. And they peddle a fiction, a caricature.
His house? It's our house. Can he divide us anymore? Probably. President Biden has taken some heat over that commencement speech at Morehouse College in Atlanta. You know, he's trying to scoop up the black vote. That was over the weekend. Morehouse is one of the nation's HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. Some opinion headlines criticized the address by Biden as divisive, morbid, and patronizing. It's all of those things and more. The Wall Street Journal editorial board had this quote: President Biden has lost support among black Americans, and the White House appears to have settled on a strategy to win them back. Spread more racial division, end quote. Black voters are also talking about it.
Race baiter. It's tough to hear that, because imagine you going to college for 4 years, ready to, hit the world, start a career, and, this guy's trying to set you back, literally.
We don't need folks to do things for us. We don't need people to baby us. So it's kind of disturbing, that they pander to us in this manner.
People are becoming more sensitive to what's affecting us as individuals, as business owners, as parents, not just because we're black, not just because we're women, not just because we're men. They can't keep putting us in these race baskets. Accountability season is here.
Recent Fox News polling shows Biden's support with black voters has declined 7% since October 2020. And Trump's support has spiked by 9% in the same time frame. Power panel now. Gianno Caldwell, Fox News political analyst. David Carlucci, former Democratic New York State Senator. Great to see you both. Gianno, I'm going to come to you. It's apparent that Biden has his memory back. It's just that it's from 1952, pre-civil rights.
Absolutely spot on, Harris. And we don't really need to remind people who Joe Biden is, but I'll take a second and do so. In 2007, he referred to Barack Obama as the first mainstream African-American who was articulate, bright, and clean. Oof. Joe Biden also said in 2020, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. He also said that he didn't want his kids growing up in a racial jungle. To send him out as the messenger to get black votes, especially Morehouse, because Morehouse is an all-male school, black students mostly. This is the demographic that he's losing the most. What Joe Biden and the Democrats do not realize is the African Americans of today, just in that collage you just showed, young folks, young voters, they don't think about things in the same way that our grandparents do, that experience civil rights issues or Jim Crow and many other things. This is a much different group of people who are more concerned about the economic conditions on the ground than about race. And that's where he's messing up.
I mean, it's not just your grandparents. There's some of us who are in between you and your grandparents. And I mean, the experience is what informs you of where things really are. I don't know what his experience is at this moment. I want to get to this, and then, David, I'll come straight to you. The White House issued 9 brutal corrections to Biden's NAACP speech on the weekend in Detroit. The first one, he mistakenly said he was vice president during the coronavirus pandemic.
When I was vice president, things were kind of bad during the pandemic. And what happened was Barack said to me, go to Detroit and help fix it.
Now, you know he was not vice president during the pandemic. Republican Senator Mike Lee of Utah said Biden has nuclear codes and he thinks he was vice president during the pandemic. It is troubling. David.
Well, we know that was an honest slip up. He's talking about the recession and the work to restore the.
Do you know where you were in the pandemic?
Sometimes, yes, but I think it depends on the lens you're looking through, right? To say that this was pandering, I just think is not fair. I think this is about talking and paying respect to an important demographic That's young, black, college-educated young men and their tuition-paying parents.
All right, let's check with one of those young
men.
men. Did you feel like you were being pandered to, or did you feel like he was respecting you? Gianno, just as one man's opinion who happens to fit the demographic that David just talked about.
Well, and that's exactly what I was going to say to David. David, I am black. Harris is black also, and we both feel that it was pandering. So people within the community can say what we believe the facts to be, and Mostly, most people agree with that. We know that the Democratic Party has a history.
I don't think most people
around
agree with
election
that.
time. They bring out the rappers and the R&B
Unfortunately,
hosts
we're running out of time.
Yeah,
I wish we weren't.
I mean, the pandering is really rich. I think this was a successful speech.
That's
it was
one word for it. We got to go.
respect.
I'll bring you both back. Thank you. Outnumbered after the break.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.